Do I think it's bottomed? I mean, if Bitcoin hasn't gone down to 10K yet, I don't think we've bottomed. The only other thing that would be cool would be if Bitcoin drops to 11K and HEX runs up. Because whenever Bitcoin originally dropped from the top, HEX still kept going up. And so that was really cool in the market. Like all the lava, the floor is lava memes were pretty fun at the end of the bull market. And maybe that could happen. I'm not saying like, oh, I know it's going to happen. I'm just saying it might. Dollar cost averaging in when things are down 95% and you know the product's good, you know the community is good, you know the security is good, you know the everything is good. That is probably what I would recommend to like friends and family is dollar cost averaging at these levels because hey, maybe it goes down to 1.5, maybe we go to 10 cents and you're like, well, I'd rather have gotten an average price than like, oh, it left me behind because I only had limit orders at 1 cent or something like that. Also, limit orders are an awesome way to get in. You don't have to be watching the charts. You can be out hanging with your family and friends and still get those super sick wicks down that some silly whale or some guy's worried about. That's just extra yield for us stakers as well. When people are emergency unstaking, guess what? We're getting paid that. That is super awesome. Like extra revenue in the bear market. We're just getting extra emergency unstake money. Like I'm sure it sucks for those people. Like, sorry, your hands are made of paper, but especially some of those really early stakes that you see being end staked early, you're like, wow, dude, you know how much that would have been in the next bull market? Because that looks like it would have ended at the peak of the next bull market and you'd had all the interest instead of losing some of it and the principal. Like, oh man, those guys are going to be so sad, dude. Didn't we lose tiers of yield on PulseX? Well, because it's not released yet, and so there's hasn't been trading. I mean, you could say that about any DEX. It's like, oh, you weren't out 10 years ago. We missed out on 10 years. It's like, okay. But yeah, I mean, obviously everyone wishes it was out already, right? Like I want it to be out. Richard wants it to be out probably more than anyone. And you know, he's still doing his thing. He's advertising, he's getting attention. You know, I don't know why people don't understand by now what he's doing. Like he has a good message for people that know about him. If you don't know about Richard, maybe if he gets attention through doing ridiculous things and acting clownish, then he gets more people to find out about him. And it's been working. He's still growing. He has the biggest following. If any of you in the community think you can do it better, then please outpace Richard's growth. That would be amazing. If you can do that, well, then maybe he'll adopt your strategy, and that would be awesome. I don't think his lawyers want him to be like promoting Hex directly, so he has to promote himself, and that just kind of leads to, hey, what's up with this guy? He's got like, what is this, Dior, everything. He's got a Rolls Royce. What's all this talk about big peepee? What's this guy? Oh, I'm upset about him. And then if you listen to his stuff, you're like, oh wait, this guy's just saying all the truth. And then they get to learn, and then they get to grow, and then we all get to win. I don't understand the complaining. It's lame-o, in my opinion. Oh, Hex supply will double dummy. Oh, for PulseChain. Yeah, but you get a copy. So like, it's like if everyone's money in the world got doubled in their bank account, like everything would just re-normalize to that level. So like if Santa came around and then everyone's stocking, you got double your salary you had that year, the prices of everything in the world would then re-assimilate down to like this, like a same median level, because everyone would just have the same amount, but it's halved. Like the prices of things would probably like drop to half. So basically whoever gets to spend that inflation first, because everyone got double, gets the deals because the prices probably haven't situated to the new supply yet. Yeah, that's the thing with inflation too, is like, it's amazing in Hex that you can actually get some of the inflation, whereas in the Federal Reserve System, which we're all in the central banking system, fractional reserve banking, where they're just like making insane amounts of money for basically no cost just because they're a bank, they pump all this money into the economy that like you aren't getting any of that. Like you can't get money at that rate. Other people can. A small group can. It's like Hex would suck if just like 10 addresses could go in, they can go mint extra supply at will, but you can't. And you're like, this kind of sucks. Well, that's not how it is. It's fair for everyone. Everyone involved at this stage, you're getting whatever the market deals are, whatever people decide to stake. People could just be like, hey, I give up on the project. I'm not staking anymore. I'm just going to move on. Well, then that's a guy you don't have to compete with, and you're going to get more of the Hex. And if people value it more in the future, then you get more of the Hex that also gets more interest because there's less participants, so you just get to win even more. Now it all depends on if people value this stuff. It's the same thing with Bitcoin. Like, well, if people stop valuing Bitcoin and they don't want it, then like it won't have value. Good evening. It is known when Pulse goes live, will staking HEX on that chain be from scratch or will it piggyback on the old running? It's all on the old running stats. Well, say you have a 10-year stake currently on ETH chain, PulseChain launches, you will have that exact same code and HEX, but on PulseChain, and it'll be at the same exact day and everything like that. And that's the awesome thing is like HEX code and system state is transferable to like any platform. So even if Ethereum goes to 0 because there's some fatal flaw, say even PulseChain goes down. I heard this great idea from Funding Jim where he thinks of like HEX as like the Lamborghini and Ethereum is the road. And so if a road goes out, your Lamborghini isn't useless. You just use a different road. You just go, oh, detour, driving your Lambo around town. You just if a road goes out, you just get on a different one. You can always transfer the system state, and then people would just, likely there'd be a dip because of all the FUD. It's like, oh no, like obviously if like all of Ethereum crashed, that would cause problems for more than one reason. But this is just hypothetical in that situation because people bring up like, oh well, if Ethereum goes down, then you'll go down, and it's like, well, we can actually continue on at the same state that we were on, and we would just airdrop it to another working consensus layer. Hey, KVK, thanks for all your knowledge. I saw some people questioning the X's potential regarding market cap. Pulse. ETH only raised 16 million during its ICO compared to 670 million. I think it's better to have more people talking about it because, like, think about how much of the world isn't in crypto. Most of it. Okay, well, more people at the start hopefully helps adoption grow. And so I think since we had more money, that shows a lot more interest. And so we have more people at the start to talk about it. So we have like a bigger starting ball. It's kind of how I don't understand. It's like nobody ever thought Bitcoin would go up 6.9 million X, but it did. It's just a matter of time and how much they print the money. If they crazily print the money, it's easier to go up a million X, It's like focus on 1,000X. It's like, how do you focus on it? It's just like, oh, I want to hope for this number because it seems more realistic to me. All right. I mean, we're not going around telling people it's guaranteed to 10,000X. We just are like, this stuff tends to go up a lot and this thing is built well, so maybe it could do what other things have done. That's literally it. And also there's some, like with PulseX, I think there's just great game theory that nothing else has that I'm aware of. And that could be amazing. That's where it comes from. And you guys can just make your own decisions. Like I make the videos so you guys have all the details to make your own decision. If you don't agree with the conclusion, that's fine. But like the data that's how it is. It's like if there's this much volume, you get this much buy pressure. People can stake and earn other tokens that they can sell to buy more PulseX. All right, that looks like good for price, but I know it's just we don't know the future.